All right, so we are continuing on with geometric sequences. We are going to be using finding a common ratio in a different way. I'm not just going to give you the first few terms and have you find the common ratio. I'm a little more involved than that. Find the nth term, which is just saying the explicit, meaning leave the n in. Find the explicit formula, and then find the term number. So if you want to find like a sub 9 or something like that, how do you do that? So I realize we've done this already, but it just makes it a little bit more complicated when we don't give you the consecutive terms. So we're going to be using that formula up there. So remember, the formula is right there. A sub n equals a sub 1 times the common ratio to the n minus 1 power. Okay, so when I'm finding the common ratio, basically when they give you a separate term and not the next consecutive one, that's going to be in place of a sub n. So, and this 5 is going to be n. So I'm making n 5. So if you recall this from arithmetic, it's a very similar process, but not the same. You can't use the slope formula for this one. So you have to plug in. Now, they do put t's. Sometimes they use t's. Sometimes they use, any letters allowed. We like a's, but they're using t's, so we're just going to put t in its spot. No big deal, okay? So right now, n is 5, so I'm just going to plug in n first, just to take this step by step. I don't know what the common ratio is, but I know that n is 5. So I put n in here and here. Now I'm going to put what they're equal to. So t of 5 is 3 over 8. T of 1 is 6. We don't know what r is, but we know that 5 minus 1 is 4. So then we just solve this. So divide by 6. And when I divide 3/8 divided by 6, I get 1 over 16. And that's r to the 4th power. I wish I could see you guys. Someone would know how to do this problem. We want to get rid of the 4 up there. So you can do the 4th root or flip the exponent, which is generally what I do. So I flip the exponent. I'm just with r to the 1st power. And 1/16 to the 1/4 power is just 1/2. So I found my common ratio. So it's a little bit of intricate solving there. Solving for r when you don't have consecutive terms. Okay, some of you might be able to figure this out in your head. Power to you. But again, let's do it this way. Let's put n in. In this case, n is 4. So I'm going to put t of 4 equals t of 1 times the common ratio to the 4 minus 1 power. So t of 4 is negative 81 over 32. T of 1 is 6. Right? And then we don't know what r is, but we know 4 minus 1 is 3. Divide by 6. So r to the 3rd power, when I divide this by 6, should be negative 27 over 64. And then take the cubed root or raise it to the 1/3 power. That gets rid of the exponent there, and we're left with negative 3/4. So finding a common ratio, when you don't have consecutive terms, you have to use the formula a little bit to make sure that, everything works out. It should turn out to be a rational number, meaning a fraction or a whole number. Shouldn't be irrational for what we're doing right now. Okay, and then the last thing that we're doing, we're going to find a specific term. I'm going to do it using the explicit formula because I took out the example that had that in here. But it's the same process. It's not all that deep. Okay, so find a specific term of a geometric. So they're telling you it's geometric. So remember, it's a sub n equals a sub 1 times the common ratio to the n minus 1 power. Okay, in order to do this, we need an r and we need a 1 in order to figure these out. So, whoa, shocking, there isn't an r. So we need to find r. So I'm going to take n is 8 here and plug that in first. So a sub 8 equals a sub 1 times r, which I don't know, to the 8 minus 1 power. So now I'm going to put a sub 8 in, which is 4374. A sub 1 is 2. And that's r to the 7th power. So divide by 2. And we get 2,187. R to the 7th power. So raise that to the 1/7, flip the exponent there, or 7th root. And we get r is 3. So the first thing that you have to do if finding explicit sequence or finding a specific term is you need to find out what r is. So if I wanted the explicit formula, that's just a sub n is equal to the first term, which is 2, times r, which is 3 here, to the n minus 1 power. That's our explicit formula. So whoop-de-doo. So then if I want a sub 3, I'm just going to plug 3 in that spot. So a sub 3 is 2 times 3 to the 3 minus 1. That's my computer brain work. I'm kidding. I wrote it down already. So that's 18. Okay, so this is our explicit, or our nth term, okay, formula with the n still in it. And then I just plugged in 3 because they were looking for the 3. All right, I hope you guys are having a great time home, hanging out with all your friends, online, I mean. Have a nice day.